Well, greetings to you. I was just musing yesterday on the adverts that we're now getting. Just laughing a little bit. In the old days, I think it was 1973, I got my diploma from the Institute of Marketing, and all I learned, it wasn't a particularly difficult diploma to get hold of, but it did teach you the do's and don'ts of advertising, the sort of the golden rules that never change. And of course, the world's moved on a hell of a long time away since that. Of course, it has. But there are certain golden rules. One is, perhaps foremost, you do not alienate your customer base with a new campaign. You enhance it from yesteryear and bring it forward, and you might modernize it. You might do all sorts of things. You might want to change direction. But you don't slag off your customers, loyal customers who've been around for some time. I am a Jaguar driver, was a Jaguar driver. We're down to one car in our family now, I'm afraid. I can't afford it to be a Jaguar. It has to be all things to all men. Leaving that aside, I was also a member of the Bentley Drivers Club for a while when I could afford Bentleys. And I can't afford any of that now. But basically what I'm trying to say is you cannot slag off people who have bought Jaguars, still buy Jaguars, and will continue to buy, or might have continued to buy Jaguars, with highly woke advertising, where you are trying to get a completely different message across to try and impress your ESG rating or whatever it happened to be. The game is to sell cars. You sell cars, Jaguar. So if you have an advert, you want to put the bloody car in the advert and see how good it is and how modern it is, how wonderful it is, and how fast it is, or whatever it is. You don't do what you're doing, which is not mention the car at all, but imply that your existing customer base is all silly and old and no use to them. It doesn't help because they're going to stop buying. And if you want the young market, the reason that older people, businessmen, drive Jaguar is for the simple reason they can afford to. Young people are struggling with school fees, mortgages, and all the rest of it, not necessarily in the Jaguar class. So, leaving that aside, you would have thought that the advertising agency employed by Jaguar would have learnt that. No, neither has the senior people at Jaguar, so it seems. It was the same with Bud Light. It was a rock-solid customer base. Joe Sixpack, America Blue Collar. They've alienated people. The stupid advert that they put on, nobody drinks Bud Light anymore. Thank the Lord, because it's a crap drink anyway, but leaving that aside, no, you can't do that. Gillette's about shaving. Butch, macho, shaving, cowboys, and all that kind of thing. It's not about chaps who do odd things, who look a bit odd. I travelled lots and lots of times across the pond, Virgin Upper Class. Jolly good, bloody good service, absolutely excellent in every regard. The latest adverts have a sort of chap, I think it's a chap, with eyeshadow mincing down the aisle. Now, if you want to mince about with eyeshadow if you're a chap, that's perfectly right with me. I'm a libertarian. But your businessman paying top dollar for his ticket upper class across the pond to Washington or New York doesn't want his gin and tonic necessarily served by chaps with eyeshadow. Thank you very much. We just don't want it. You're alienating your customer base. So senior executives, think on. Don't fall for it from your advertising agencies, which come mainly from kids from university who haven't got a clue how to sell anything. Stick to what you know, modernise it by all means, adjust it by all means, but don't take the piss out of your customers. As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research based. And I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I automatically share it with you. So, surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.